Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night.
Stop the music. Yes, I know. Because it's Boomer Town in the Twin Cities. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I was just saying before I played the intro, I said in the immortal words of Bill O'Reilly, fuck it, we'll do it live. Do it live. So I got the reparations coffee going. I see a couple of you have some additives to yours. I don't have any additives today, although I might stop in the middle of the stream and go get some. I mean additives to my coffee, not that kind of go get some. So I got a whole bunch of stuff going on with my computer. I might need those additives soon. But I did put a new GPU in the computer yesterday. I got it hooked up. Took me a while to figure out how to get the software to do what it does, but I am up and running, and we'll see how the frames look. I see it still says I'm skipping frames here and there, but it looks like the stream's working at least, even though I don't know how to turn on a microphone at the proper moment in time. And you'll also notice today that if you looked at the name of the stream, it is not my first anniversary show. I just, I'm sure you probably noticed that, because in my when I discovered yesterday how screwed up things were with this computer, I'm like, I don't have time to prepare for that. I don't have time to get guests. So I actually decided that the first anniversary show will be a week from today, and it kind of coincides with the what the hell's going on here? It coincides with my 250th show. So we'll just do them all at once. And so just so you know, I'll put that on the screen here if I can figure out. The other part here is, so I set up my monitors. I have the GPU running one monitor, and I have just the regular HDMI ports from my motherboard running this one. But whatever I did, I couldn't figure out how to get this display over here. So they're flipped, and I probably should just flip the displays, but it messed me up. And so I'm gonna be a little bit disoriented today, because I'm used to looking over here for stuff for when I'm reading stuff, and over here for stuff when I'm not, and it's a mess. Anyway, good morning. By the way, I was going to show you let's see the graphic here. We'll put the graphic on the screen. We'll even make it bigger so you can see it. So anyway, this is what you'll see on Twitter. This is that's the display for the 250th show and the 1 year anniversary of the Morning Night Live. I've been doing this for 1 year, and actually, I'm going to recognize someone in the chat, because I went back and watched my very first episode that I actually called the Morning Night Live after I did several test streams. And my very first guest on the Morning Night Live just happens to be here 1 year later, and that would be Johnny Hellcat. Johnny Hellcat, you get a bell. In fact, you get the emphatic bell, because I'm glad you're here. If you remember that or not, you were my first guest on the Morning Night Live. As in, first person in the chat, not even the guest on the show. You were the first person to ever come and decide that you're going to take a chance and come watch the Morning Night Live. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. You and Hate Camel were the ones who watched the first episode. I think a couple people popped in and out that day, but you guys were there for the first one, and you'll be here a year later. In fact, I will be sending you a link next week. I just meant to tell you that. I'm just going to have a cavalcade of guests come in that day, next Friday. So hopefully you're around, Johnny Hellcat, because I definitely appreciate you. So anyway, there we go. That's what's happening next week, and we should have some fun with that. Real quick, I do want to say good morning to everybody, and it's hard because I'm so used to looking at this screen for one thing and this screen for the other, and everything's backwards, and I'm looking the wrong way. But let's say hi to everyone who's already here in the chat. Good morning. And Johnny Hellcat was the first one here, too. So you get one more bell for being first. Also, good morning, Green Thunder to Mighty, Kessler, Richo, my friend from Down Under, Green Badger Outdoors, D.I. Freighter, Chadwick Dupree, also known as Damn It Chadwick. Good morning, Necroso Collins, Patrice Ripley, Tyler F., Grillin' Pirate Pete, Grillin' Pirate Pete sent me pictures of his ribs that he made. And I was like, damn! In fact, let me find those. Y'all got to see this. Oh, you had me tagged them somewhere. Where the hell are they? What happened to those ribs? Here, I know I put it here. I'll just go to my profile because it's in here. Let's see. Tweets and replies. And I got to show you something beautiful here. Wait, what the hell's going on here? You didn't delete that, did you? Oh, well, here, let me see if anyone else is here. Oh, good morning, Chi-Town Jay. I'm scrolling. Gunfox 61. I think I got everyone who's here so far, at least the ones in the chat. Now, let me find a picture of these ribs, because they were looking fine. And did you message them to me? How did you send those to me? I could have sworn it was in my notifications. All right, let's see here. Someone sent me. Oh, here it is. Now, hopefully, here we go. All right, y'all got to see this. This is some good looking stuff right here. I know I don't usually talk about food and K-pop, because I'm going to talk about K-pop this morning too. And usually I don't even talk about K-pop. But anyway, so Pirate Pete now look, this is before he started cooking. He just had him seasoned there on the grill. Looks like he does a little smoker action there. I'm still wondering what happened to the tips though. I used to, because look, okay, so there's let me go full screen so you can see this. So there's the first picture. I'm gonna move this up a little bit. There we go. So that's as they're just getting in the smoker there, and this looks like they've been in there a while. See a little redness around there, looking good. And then after a while, it looks like he threw just a touch of sauce on there. Now when I do ribs, usually I don't do sauce. I usually do dry rub, but if you have a good sauce, dang. That there's nothing like some good ribs. And then there's the finished product. Looked like you finished them off on some little heat there, so they oh man, my mouth's is anyone else's mouth watering right now? I swear my mouth is just watering. So anyway, some outstanding looking ribs from Grillin' Pirate Pete. Good morning, Irish Rose. I see you're here too. All right. So today it's going to be kind of just a headline day because that's just how it is. We're going to just see what's happening in the world. I know that, obviously the big thing the big thing's happening. We have an impeachment trial getting ready to start. Now, in the Senate yesterday, they had, everyone got sworn in, everyone signed in. The House manager, Adam Schiff for Brains, did a little introduction of the articles of impeachment, and then they basically made up a couple ground rules, and they adjourned until Tuesday. So starting Tuesday, they're going to have the impeachment trial, which I think is going to be a bit of here's the thing. It won't be as big of a circus as it was in the House of Representatives, because the senators can't say anything during the trial. Okay, so the House managers come out there and they'll present their side of the story, and then the the president's people come out there and tell their side of the story. Now I know Chuck Schumer's planning on immediately putting up some I don't even know what you call it. Proposal in the Senate. I don't know. He's going to try to propose a rule to have some new evidence coming in and new witnesses and shit. And who knows how that's going to go. There's a couple Republicans who are leaning towards that. But now, if the way that Mitch McConnell wants to work is that he wants to do it like the Clinton trial, where they decided later that they were going to allow new witnesses and things. So he's saying that, they're going to allow it, but, just in time. But I think Chuck Schumer wants to make a scene right from the beginning. This whole thing is just some grandstanding bullshit. And to be honest, I'm going to say it over and over and over. Okay? This is all about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It's about the Supreme Court because they are desperate to from the beginning, ever since Donald Trump got elected, because they thought Hillary Clinton was going to get elected, and then they were going to get their Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court, and then they were going to get another probably appointment with the Supreme Court. By the end of this next 4 years, between Ginsburg and is John Paul Stevens even still alive? I don't even know. I don't even know who's on the Supreme Court anymore because the lineup's changed a little bit. Let's see, Supreme Court justices. Ginsburg is close to her end. Okay, Stephen Breyer might retire. Let's see, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh. Wait, what? These people are all retired. Why are these people on here? Anyway, so by the end of the next term, if Trump does get reelected, you could have up to 7 Supreme Court justices that were appointed by Republicans. And so this is all about the Supreme Court. Now, they've never said a word about it, but every time Ruth Bader Ginsburg has a scare, the Democrats get a little nervous and a little crazy. And I get it. They don't want him to be able to appoint more justices, but they're trying to do everything they can to delegitimize him. Even though he won the election fair and square, they have never accepted that. They'll always bring up that he lost by 3 million votes, even though the 3 million votes that he lost by were 4.5 million votes in California. Okay. And that we don't have a popular vote in the United States. We are a representative republic. It's like a baseball game. A baseball game has 9 innings. Now, or even better yet, the World Series. It's like the World Series. You have 7 games. Okay? Let's say the Yankees and the Dodgers are in the World Series. Okay? And the Yankees win the first game 2-1. They win the second game 2-1. But then the Dodgers come back and have a brilliant game, and they win the third game 25-5. Then the Yankees win 2-1. And then the Dodgers win 2-1. And then the Dodgers win 2-1. And then the Yankees win 2-1. Well, in game 3, the Dodgers scored 25 runs. They scored the most runs in the World Series. But you don't win this World Series by winning the most runs. You win the World Series by winning the most games. Well, in the United States, we have 50 states and some other places that have electoral votes. And you have to win the most electoral votes. Not the most votes, the most electoral votes, which are determined in 50 52, basically 51 or 52 different contests. And so that's how you win the presidency of the United States. You have to win 50 contests. You have to win the majority of the electoral votes that each of those 50 contests give you. And that makes it so that you can't just win one contest and take it all. And then you have then, because if we did, I'm sorry, I like the system we have. It distributes the balance between population and between states. States should have more of your the power should be in the states. The power that the local government is what should have the most effect on your life. Because top down shit don't work, especially in a country as big as ours, with so many different types of places in this country. So I don't want. I'm happy with the Electoral College. I'm happy that the president has to be responsible to a larger array of people geographically. Okay, because different geographical regions, different types of regions have different types of issues. You know what? The Congress, the House of Representatives, is your popular vote part of the government. The Senate is strictly what the states get. And the president is a combination of the two. And it should continue to work that way. All right, I'm going to move on here. Good morning, MC Hammer Time. Hammer Time's in the house. Also, Maddie the news chick, a.k.a. Maddie's House of Geek. And I think I saw, Blind Press. Hey, how you doing? What up, girl? Reminder, just Blind Press goes right after me. And real quick, reminder, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you be so kind, to share this stream out with other people. I see a few people. I've got a whole bunch of notifications just recently. Looks like I got, Necro and Tyler F. and Arthur for President of the Internet have all retweeted the show. Thank you very much. Also, Maddie at House of Geek did. Let's see. Got a lot of people talking about. Oh, so I did this little survey thing. And what was it called? It was something about, how country are you? How country are you? Now look, before I was adopted, I lived on a farm in Iowa for 4 years. I don't remember anything about that. That doesn't make you country. And then I moved to the city. I was raised in Omaha, which is a city. It's not a big city, but it's a city. And then I went to school in Des Moines. Now I live in the Twin Cities, and I spent a lot of time in all the cities and stuff. But there's a survey, not a survey, just one of those little silly test things you do on the internet. And it was about how country are you? And so I'm looking at this. Okay, here it is on the screen. At one point for every one of these things you've tried. And I'm going through this and I'm going, because 1 to 5, kiss my grits, 6 to 10, sure enough, 11 to 15, born and bred, and 16 plus, it's like a pot of neck bones, which I have had neck bones. And I'm looking on this thing and I'm like, well, I've had a whole bunch of things on this list. Like I'm in it's like a pot of neck bones category, because I've had at least 18 of these things. I think I had one other thing on here. But I was like, yeah, I've had a whole bunch of these things. Oh, wait, 19. I've had fried green tomatoes, too. Oh, and I've chitlins, too. So I'm at 20. I've had 20 things on here. And I'm thinking, well, that doesn't... Are those country things? Because a lot of them are southern things. Because, like, boiled peanuts, that's a southern thing. You never see anyone getting boiled peanuts in the north. Hoppin' John, you don't see that. Hush puppies. Hell, Long John Silver's has hush puppies. But like oyster casserole, I've had that. I've had butter beans and po' boys. Oh my gosh, there's a place in New Orleans. We were down there, had the best po' boys. Boy, it's like a hot sandwich with like a hoagie bun, but they call them po' boys down there. Oh my gosh, what's that place called? It was a place that was flooded during Katrina, and they opened back up, and my wife and I went there. So I have a friend who lives down there, and he told us all the best places to go eat, just mostly hole in the wall places. And this place, oh my gosh, we shared a shrimp po' boy and a roast beef po' boy, or a pot roast po'. It was a pot roast po' boy sandwich. Oh my goodness, it was so good. It was really good. But anyway, so if you're looking at this, figure out your number here. Okay, I'm just gonna go to fried squirrel. Now, I have never had fried squirrel. Sorry, haven't done it. Nope. I have had chess pie. I've had gumbo. I've had frog legs. I've never had liver mush. I've had hush puppies, Hoppin' John, chicken liver. So wait a minute. Maybe I didn't count this right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 in the first 8. Boiled peanuts. I never tried boiled peanuts. I know that's a big thing in the South. Po' boys, 9. I haven't had a tomato sandwich. I've had oyster casserole. That's 10. Butter beans, 11. Fried bologna. Everybody eats fried bologna. I don't know how country that is. That's 11. Poke salad, no. Rabbit stew, no. Hot brown, I'm not sure what that is. Chicken and dumplings, hell yes. Chicken and dumplings. Cornbread, deviled eggs. Deviled eggs is country. I thought every picnic had deviled eggs. Of course, I don't know if everyone calls them deviled eggs though. It's just, whipping up the egg yolks and some mayonnaise and mustard or whatever, and some little paprika on top, maybe a little Cajun seasoning on top if you're a little bold. Bourgeois. Anyone know what bourgeois is? Bourgeois? I have no idea. Chocolate gravy. I'm not sure what that means. Cobbler. Now, if someone's in my mentions saying they'd never heard of cobbler, and all a cobbler is, it's a lazy way to make a pie, okay? It's basically, I don't know about lazy, but basically it's, you get either a square or a rectangle pan, okay? And you put some fruit and sugar and stuff in the bottom of it. And then instead of like doing a double crust pie, basically you just put the crust on top and bake it that way. So basically you have to cut through the crust and you just scoop it up. And oh my gosh, a good peach cobbler is ridiculous. Seuss, never heard of it. Corn pudding. I've had corn pudding. I've had jambalaya, chicken fried steak. I've had that. I've had turnip greens. Never had pickled pig's feet. Pear salad. That's a southern thing, and although I've never had it. I have had gator tail. If I've had fatback, I don't know. It's pie casserole. Yeah, cobbler's pie casserole. I'm not sure. Fatback is that another name for something else? Because I've heard people call something fatback, but I don't know. Anyway, I never heard of Brunswick stewed. I've had fried gizzards. I've had red eye gravy, shrimp and grits, chitlins, red beans. I've had way more than I was counted 20 because I counted fast. Okay, let me go. I got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm at 24, and I'm a city dude. Okay, I'm just a city guy, and I've got 24 on here. Not knowing if I may have had fat back, but I don't know if I have. It's the layer of fat off the back of a pig. And why would you eat that? I'm not really sure, because there's so many other there's lots of other things you eat off the pig than fat back. Anyway, I'm sticking with the ribs that Grill and Pirate Pete made, because those look like some good stuff. Anyway, all right, let's get into some headlines, because I've been babbling long enough. And let's see, I think I got all the notifications. Anyone else show up while I was babbling there? All right, so today it's just kind of be a quick headline day, and we'll do some Twitter trends and get the hell out of here. By the way, just another note here is I'm probably going to do another stream this afternoon just for the hell of it. I want to test some elements, and I got to kind of mess around with my settings on the with using this new GPU. Although it looks like so far I haven't frozen up at all. I just got to change. I'm gonna have to change these monitors around though. This is driving me crazy having them on different sides. I'm so used to looking over here for my studio, and I'm supposed to look over here for my news, and I got it backwards. So I got to change that shit up. Anyway, all right, let's check out some headlines today. There's a whole bunch of impeachment stuff going on. I'll just kind of go. Let's see. Rand Paul goes to war. If 4 GOP senators vote for new witnesses, he'll demand a subpoena for Hunter Biden, aka Hunter Biden. Let's see. I gotta. Oh gosh, this shit is all backwards. Rand Paul goes to war. If 4 GOP senators vote for new witnesses, he'll demand a subpoena for Hunter Biden. Senator Rand Paul is one of the most interesting figures in the United States Senate. One day, he'll praise the president for his economic policies, but in the next moment, he'll aggressively go after Trump over his foreign policy decision. Hey, yes! When the president is right, you give him praise. When the president is wrong, the president's wrong. And good for him. And that means he's not a sycophant. Okay? Now, and I'm not necessarily going to agree with Rand Paul about a lot of things, but wait, what? If you ever had Southern greens, you've had fatback. If you have hog jaws. Well, see, now look, Southern greens. You got to define what the hell Southern greens mean, because I make collard greens all the time. I don't know if they're Southern or not, but I usually use either. What do you call it? I either use, now I'm blanking out. See, because the last 3 times I've made it, I've used ham shanks, smoked ham shanks instead of, what is it? Oh God, forget it. I don't care. Let's get back to the story. Let's see. Some conservative commentators, especially Ben Shapiro, like to talk about good Trump, bad Trump. Well, we could say the same about Senator Paul. There's good Rand and bad Rand. Well, okay, come on now. Today, good Rand has shown up. Politico reports that the senator from Kentucky has threatened his fellow senators that if 4 or more Republican senators join with Democrats to entertain new witness testimony, he'll make sure the Senate votes on subpoenaing the president's preferred witnesses, including Hunter Biden and the whistleblower who revealed the Ukraine scandal. In an interview with Politico, Senator Paul explained, if you vote against Hunter Biden, you're voting to lose your election, basically. Seriously, that's what it is. If you don't want to vote and you think you're going to have to vote against Hunter Biden, you should just vote against witnesses, period. In other words, he's willing to torpedo fellow Republicans' chances of being reelected if they take the Democrats' side on this one. My first preference would be to be done with it as soon as possible and not to have any witnesses, he went on to say. If they insist on having people like Bolton coming forward, my insistence will be not just one witness, but that the president should be able to call any witnesses that he deems necessary to his defense. Oh, yes, this is definitely good Rand. Can we see more of him and a little bit less of bad Rand, please? Okay, that's just an editorial by someone named Michael Vander Gellen. I don't know who he is, but I tend to agree with that. D.I. Frater, bad Rand equals South African money. Sure, why not? All right. Let's see other things. Let's see, Dem impeachment trials. Now, the Democrats' impeachment trial strategy. This is the New York Post. We all love the New York Post. They're funny in some ways, but whatever. Anyway, Democratic impeachment trial strategy. Endless circus. Worse than Kavanaugh hearings. Democrats' strategy for the Senate impeachment trial is apparently to turn it into a never-ending Senate investigation, even though that was supposed to be the House's job. You know, they need to shut that shit down off right away. But anyway, start with the General Accounting Office opinion. We talked about this yesterday. That Team Trump's temporary hold on aid to Ukraine constitutes a violation of the law. Maybe. But the GAO is no kind of court or other legal authority. That's what I was saying yesterday. The General Accounting Office giving a legal opinion would be like my auto mechanic giving me an opinion on my GPU and my computer. You might know something about computers, but you're not an expert, okay? Also, the fact that if they're talking about the GAO, is it General Accounting Office? If they're saying that the Trump broke the law, and that's significant, well, they said that Obama broke the law seven different times, particularly with that what's his name, Bo Bergdahl, the guy that basically Obama paid and traded prisoners with. Well, the General Accounting Office says Obama broke the law. Did any of the Democrats give a rat's ass about that? I don't think so. Anyway, then there's the claim that assertions by Rudy Giuliani's crony, well, ex-crony, Lev Parnas, just plain compelled the Senate to consider new evidence and call witnesses to get to the bottom of the Ukraine affair. Here's the other thing with this witness thing. They were supposed to do this in the House. It's like, they had, but it was urgent, right? It was urgent. Emergency, urgent. It was urgent. I don't know why every time I say the word urgent, I got to sing that song. Urgent, 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 urgent. Emergency. Okay, that's not the tune. But anyway, Rudy looks pretty foolish and sleazy for ever associating with this guy, but Parnas is facing federal indictments and plainly figures his best bet to skip prison is to win an immunity deal by confirming every conceivable anti-Trump suspicion. His evidence is mainly his own handwritten notes. Written when? Can he prove that? All this is starting to seem like a farcical replay of the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings, which had wrapped up until Democrats decided to play the Christine Blasey Ford card. That prompted the media furor that led to excruciating extra hearings, which changed no one's minds. Then they pushed for more hearings about other, even less substantial charges. Even the now disgraced Michael Avenatti got into the act. Y'all heard Michael Avenatti got arrested by the feds. They were taking, he was testifying or something. He was in some state court, and as he walks out of the state court, the feds came up and handcuffed him and took him away. What was that thing he used to say? Some of his favorite. Here, hang on a sec. Maybe I have this clip real quick. I may have bookmarked this one. Let's see. Michael Avenatti. Do I have him? Oh, anyway. Well, I'll go back into this story. I don't have it. Some of his favorite fantasies or something about being in handcuffs. That's so fucking hilarious. Anyway. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, if you want to be a part of the show, you want to be a permanent part of this show and support the stream, you can always do a super chat via the Streamlabs link. They're in the chat and they're in the description down below. And when you click that link, it goes to my new website, PDawgnight.live, which is basically my streaming website. So, in fact, you could watch it on PDawgnight.live. And if you do that, then the thing's right there, and you can look down below, and it tells you all the little alerts that pop up based on certain dollar amounts. It's a lot of fun, and it helps out the show. In fact, I bought my GPU with money saved from Super Chats over the last few months. So that's how I basically try to put it back into the show or try to do something cool. And especially when I start doing videos. Like I said I was going to start doing videos. I got some videos coming up. Hello, Della Hayes. How you doing? Hello, Duck Dog. Hello, Rich. I said hi to Richo. Okay, I still think I got everybody here. All right. Anyway, the Democrats want it to be a circus, and this is not. This is a little different. They came in. They've come in with their 2 articles of impeachment, and everything in this particular trial must pertain to these 2 articles. They have to be germane to those 2 articles. Now, the two articles. One is obstruction of Congress, which is stupid as hell. That's one that's easily just torn down. It basically, the president isn't obstructing Congress. The Congress was too impatient to use the courts as a referee in their disputes. Instead, they just decided, nope, we're going to call it obstruction of Congress for not having some witnesses and invoking executive privilege. And then the other one is, what was the other one? You know what? Here, let's just go look, because it's in the next story here. Or maybe it's not. Anyway, I'm going to move on. Let's see. Oh, I still want to keep that blank future. Oh my gosh. I do have one video I got to show you today. It's pathetic, from the Morning Joe. Let's see. Polygrip von Palsy on impeachment witnesses. It's not a question of proof. It's about allegations. Oh yeah. This is kind of like, it's not about the truth. It's about what we can make sound like the truth. So Nancy Pelosi said, it's not a question of proof. It's about allegations. Say what? Today, Nancy Pelosi summed up in a nutshell the mission statement of their bogus impeachment. It's not a question of proof. It's about allegations. I think, is this her saying that? Here, listen to this.
It's not a question of saying what proof. It says what allegations have been made. And that has to be subjected to scrutiny as to how we go forward. But it should not be ignored in the context of other events that have happened that would substantiate some of that.
Really? It's not about proof. Well, no, wait a minute. See, the part that you're supposed to do, Nancy, is you're supposed to talk about the allegations, and then you're supposed to have proof of those allegations. And see, the proof would be the crime, the crime that you don't really have in your articles of impeachment. Okay. Abuse of power. That's the other one. Abuse of power. So abuse of power. Okay. Subjective. And obstruction of Congress should have been handled by the courts. And you don't have to have proof. You just have to have the allegations. Yeah, seriously, Nancy? This just goes to show how much of a sham their impeachment really is. Back in November, Representative Devin Nunes condemned the Democrats' action, calling them a sham drama and an impeachment process in search of a crime. He couldn't have been more correct. Back in December, Representative Jim Jordan slammed the Democrats for holding a predetermined impeachment. Yes, from the day he got elected, they were trying to find how they're going to impeach him. Hi, Peter Allman. Hi, Renovaccio. I would argue that it is not a fast impeachment. It is a predetermined impeachment. A predetermined impeachment, this is Jim Jordan, a predetermined impeachment done in the most unfair partisan fashion we have ever seen, he said. No subpoena power for Republicans. Deposition done in secret. In the bunker, in the basement of the Capitol, 17 people come in for those depositions. No one could be there except for a handful of folks that Adam Schiff allowed. In those depositions, Chairman Schiff prevented witnesses from answering Republicans' questions. Every Democrat question got answered, not every Republican question. Jordan said, Democrats denied Republicans the witnesses that we wanted in the open hearings that took place 3 weeks ago. And of course, Democrats promised us the whistleblower would testify. And they changed their mind, Jordan added. And they changed their mind. Why? Because the whole world discovered that Adam Schiff's staff had talked to the whistleblower, coordinated with the whistleblower, a whistleblower with no firsthand knowledge, biased against the president, who worked with Joe Biden, whose lawyer in January 2017 said the impeachment process starts then. So there you go. Let's see what else here we got. I got all kinds of stuff. Mr. Scott, I didn't mean to leave you out there. How you doing? I'm glad you're here. Let's see how we doing here. Okay, we got a handful of people in here. I always wonder when Randy Monkey and I have a lot of the same audience. It's a lot of he's going right now. And again, I don't ever begrudge Monkey for streaming the same time I do because he just streams when he is awake and not in pain. So no big deal to me. If you want to go watch Monkey, that's cool, or watch my show and repeat, or you can go back and watch his show and repeat, however you want to do it. By the way, if you do happen to be watching this show after the fact, not live, but you clicked on the video that pops up after the show's over, please make a comment in this comment section so that I know you were here. That really just helps me gauge how many people watch outside of the live process. All right, let's see. Nadler claims removing Trump is essential so he doesn't cheat in the 2020 elections. Yeah, that was their urgency for doing the articles of impeachment a month ago. And then, it wasn't all that urgent. I still say, I always thought the timing had something to do with Nancy Pelosi trying to have leverage, or at least that's what they keep saying, that Nancy Pelosi wanted leverage to make Mitch McConnell do this and that and this and that. I think I have this suspicion still that the timing of the actual sending the articles over have to do with the Democratic primaries. I think it's designed to in theory, help Biden. I don't know if this is going to help Biden or not. Can anyone tell me a good reason that Hunter Biden would have been working for a Ukrainian energy company? He doesn't speak Russian, doesn't know anything about the energy sector, doesn't know anything about Ukraine. Anybody have a reason other than the fact that they were leveraging something for Joe Biden? Can anyone come up with another reason? I mean, and also wasn't this not long after he was discharged for cocaine use or had some serious legal problems? Richard, not sure if you seen my comment earlier, but me and the gang raised $8,000 for my mate's parents who lost the house in the bushfire. I only bring it up because you did a show on the fires. Oh man, Richard, that's awesome. And I still, people, if you're not gonna throw something in the tip jar here, that's fine. But if you have any, if you can help any organizations that are helping people in Australia, that would be rewarding to me, to know that you are helping out there. Richard, that is really, really cool. Good for you. You get a bell. That's a good bell, not a sarcastic bell. Well, the good bell is always usually the good bell, unless you can. I use the bell for good things and for cliche things, but that's for the good thing. Hello, Sheograph, Della Hayes. I said hi to Della already. Hi, Smarty Bear. Good morning. I'm glad you're here. All right. Let's see. Oh, we were talking about that GAO, the Government Accounting Office thing, right? Well, the Office of Management and Budget is pushing back. OMB pushes back on GAO findings that withholding Ukraine aid was illegal. The Office of Management and Budget, OMB, and Trump's allies are pushing back on the Government Accountability Office finding that the administration acted illegally by withholding aid from Ukraine earlier this year. Now, let's see if they come up with the same reason that I came up with yesterday when I first heard about this issue. The GAO issued a legal decision Thursday indicating that OMB broke the law by withholding $214 million in security assistance to Ukraine in the summer of 2019, asserting that the agency cannot withhold funds for policy reasons. Really? What if you had, okay, let me just give you a scenario where they might be wrong here. Before I even go on in this article. Let's say for example that the Congress approved $100 million in aid to Svengali Nebulous, the country in Southeast Asia that I just made up. And prior to that aid being given to Svengali Nebulous in Southeast Asia, the country and dictator of Svengali Nebulous suddenly began to slaughter all the nebulae in the country, being that race of nebulae people that the country of Svengali Nebulous is named after. Just started slaughtering them before we gave them the aid, right? Now, if we had a policy that said, well, you know what, the Congress approved this aid, but the president's going to make an executive decision and not hand over that aid until you guys stop slaughtering the nebulae people in Svengali Nebulous, that would be withholding funds for policy reasons. Now, is the GAO saying that would be illegal? That even though we've already approved the aid for Svengali Nebulous in Southeast Asia, that the president of Svengali Nebulous in Southeast Asia, while he's slaughtering the nebulae people in Svengali Nebulous in Southeast Asia, that we should just go ahead and give him that $100 million in the middle of the slaughter? I think that would be a policy decision, not to withhold the funds that I think might be legitimate. And I don't think they would say that, well, that's illegal. You can't illegally withhold the funds. You must give the $100 million to the president of Svengali Nebulous in Southeast Asia, regardless of if he's slaughtering all the nebulae people. Maybe? Does that sound, I don't know. So they're saying, yeah, they assert that the agency cannot withhold funds for policy reasons. Well, the OMB told the Office of Management and Budget, told the GAO, Government Accounting Office, which is nonpartisan, that it withheld the funds to ensure that they were not spent in a manner that could conflict with the president's foreign policy, General Counsel Thomas Armstrong said. The ruling could add fuel to the current impeachment proceedings as President Donald Trump is accused of coordinating pressure campaign against urging Ukraine to investigate a political opponent, former Vice President Joe Biden. Weird, because we'd like you to help us with something that wasn't anything to do with Joe Biden. But anyway, however, OMB is standing by its authority to withhold the funds. We disagree with GAO's opinion. OMB uses its apportionment authority to ensure taxpayer dollars are properly spent consistent with the president's priorities and the law, OMB spokesman Rachel Semmel said. A senior administration official took it a step further, accusing the GAO of inappropriately asserting itself into the Democrats' impeachment ambition and having a long history of flip-flops. GAO's findings are pretty clear overreach as they attempt to insert themselves into the media's controversy of the day. Further, GAO has a history of flip-flops, reversing 40 years of precedent this year on the pocket rescission decision. They were also forced to reverse a legally faulty opinion when they opposed the reimbursement of federal employees' travel costs, the official told the Daily Caller. In their rush to insert themselves in the impeachment narrative, maybe they'll have to reverse their opinion again. The Budget Office also contended this past December in a letter to GAO that it is well within its rights to control the flow of appropriated funds, adding that Congress itself has routinely withheld foreign aid. OMB regularly uses the apportionment authority to temporarily pause agency obligations to obtain additional information needed to determine the best possible use of the funds consistent with the law. OMB General Counsel Mark Paoletta wrote, "The GAO is an arm of Congress, and its decisions are not binding on the administration. It notably ruled against the Obama administration on several major policy decisions, particularly the administration's move to release 5 Taliban prisoners from Guantanamo Bay in exchange for the release of U.S. soldier Bo Bergdahl withoat notifying Congress." Yeah, they said that the Obama administration broke the law back then. Mark Wolking, the deputy director of communications for the Trump campaign, posted a Twitter thread containing some of GAO's decisions that accused the Obama administration of acting illegally. The 4 times the GAO said the Obama administration broke the law. 1, the GAO found that Obama broke the law by releasing 5 Taliban prisoners from Gitmo without notifying Congress 30 days before and by spending the money to fly them out. The GAO found that the Obama administration broke the law by giving health insurance companies taxpayer money in order to bail out Obamacare. Now, that did seem like it was illegal. GAO found the Obama administration broke the law in order to boost support for its Waters of the United States rule, that EPA rule here. See, now here, yeah, EPA broke law with social media push for water rule, auditor finds. And finally, the GAO found that the Obama administration broke the law when it sidestepped rules on pricing and national security to help a uranium company. Well, they kind of, okay, audit finds DOE acted illegally in transferring enriched uranium to use ESEC's Paducah plant. Well, they also, I don't know if they broke the law selling access to sell uranium to Russia. That funny, no one talks about that much either. All right. So anyway, we strongly disagree with GAO's conclusion, and we reject the implication that the administration acted unlawfully. The Obama administration said in response to the GAO's Bergdahl decision at the time. Anyway, I think the bigger point here on this this GAO opinion, again, they're not a legal entity. They have an opinion. Supposedly a watchdog group. Another problem with their opinion is that the hold, this delay, whatever you want to call it, with the funds to Ukraine, it didn't go past the deadline for the funds to be distributed. The funds were distributed at least 3 weeks before the deadline. So, and again, the other part of this is those funds weren't for the current year. Okay, they'd been giving them 2 years of military, whatever, substation funds, military aid, hardware, whatever. They'd been doing it for 2 years. This was the 3rd year that the Trump administration was doing it. And it was the funds that were held did not affect anything that was happening on the ground in Ukraine currently, or at least at that time. It was for future use. That's why there's a deadline. That was the end of September for them to distribute the funds, because it wasn't for current use. It was for future use. So whatever. Okay, let's see. Now. Oh, yeah. GAO ruled that... Okay, some more headlines. The GAO ruled that Obama broke the law in 2014, but no one called for his impeachment. That's true. In fact, 4 times the GAO said Obama broke the law. No one called for his impeachment. Oh, is breaking the law a high crime or a misdemeanor? Nobody was impeaching Obama. Oh, and let's talk about Lev Parnas a little bit. 10 things to know about the Democrats' obsession with Lev Parnas. Now, this is a Breitbart article, so obviously it's slanted. Just keeping it real, folks. We know it's slanted. Democrats are subtly obsessed with Lev Parnas, the Rudy Giuliani associate who was indicted on federal campaign charges last fall. The Ukrainian-born Parnas was a gopher for Giuliani, President Donald Trump's personal lawyer, and who wanted to investigate possible leads in preparing a defense against charges of Russian collusion. Parnas agreed to testify during the House impeachment inquiry, and a federal judge let him hand over documents and text messages last week. But it's not clear Parnas has anything to offer. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Representative Adam Schiff, for brains, is dumping documents. And MSNBC's Rachel Maddow did her best in an interview with Parnas on Wednesday evening. However, there are serious questions about Parnas's credibility. Oh, shocker. I think he's the new Michael Cohen. I really do. Or he's the new Christina Blasey Ford. Whoever you want to compare him to, Anyway. First of all, so here are 10 key facts about Parnas's evidence as provided to Maddow. 1. This is the Michael Cohen playbook. We've seen this movie before. A year ago, Democrats staged a hearing with disgraced former Trump let me rephrase that. With former Trump bad choice of attorneys, Michael Cohen, who had already pleaded guilty on federal campaign finance charges. Although Cohen, now as far as him being a bad choice, Cohen was like one of those hanger-oners, and someone said, hey, let's give something to do. What the hell's that? Oh, geez, I'm already running over. That's a lot of... I'm going to stream again later this afternoon because I have some extra time today to get to some things that I wanted to. Also, I want to test out using StreamYard along with my OBS. So stay tuned, or at least that's a program. Let's just call that a programming note that I will be streaming again this afternoon. If any of you are around, just look for your notifications or the tweet. Cohen, who had also pleaded guilty to lying to Congress, provided nothing of value to Democrats in his testimony. They seem to hope this time will be different, once again using a desperate and dubious witness to fling dirt at the president. Number 2, Rachel Maddow has no credibility. Maddow's reputation has never recovered from her years-long obsession with the Russian collusion conspiracy theory. In fact, she continues to obsess about it. Last month, she tried to link Russia to Trump's alleged effort to pressure Ukraine. And in 2017, Maddow earned mockery from the left for releasing one of Trump's tax returns, showing merely that he paid a lot of taxes. Parnas could not have chosen a worse form if he wanted to be taken seriously. I was just thinking about something. The other day, we talked about how Lawrence O'Donnell was basically taking a dump on CNN about the fact that they have some people on CNN who actually... Oh, bye, D.I. Freighter. We'll see you later. How CNN actually has some people, now they are few and far between, but some people that they interview that represent Trump. Like, they'll talk to Trump people, or people... They'll actually occasionally... Now, it's rare. Again, it's rare. But they occasionally talk to people who disagree with the CNN all anti-Trump all the time programming schedule, whereas MSNBC refuses to have anybody at all who will defend the Trump administration on anything. I mean, we're talking even if they had, if they promised to give, extra candy to young children, they would probably have someone on MSNBC saying, how could you put these children in jeopardy of getting cavities and diabetes? But anyway, in fact, Rachel Maddow continued. Okay, we said that. Maddow continues to obsess about it. Last month, he tried to link Russia to Trump's alleged effort. Oh, we already did that. Anyway, number 3, Parnas claims he acted at Trump's direction. X to doubt. The problem is that Parnas' only evidence of that is that Ukrainian officials agreed to meet with him. They have no reason to speak to me. Who am I? He offered no evidence of private or direct conversations with Trump, though he claims Trump is lying about not knowing him. The best Parnas offered Maddow was a conversation at roundtables, i.e. with many others present, present and overhearing Giuliani talk to the president. And there is a picture of Lev Parnas and President Trump shaking hands. Now, that is some weak fucking sauce because, I bet there's a lot of people who've taken pictures with President Trump or just various celebrities that, that just because that's what they do. They stand in lines so they can take pictures with people. The people come in the line, they take a picture and they walk away. I have a picture of myself eating lunch with Dorothy Hamill. Does that mean Dorothy Hamill knows who I am now? Probably not. I'm just saying. That's a long story. I'll tell you it some other time. Number 4, Parnas claims that Trump knew about Giuliani's investigations, which were never about corruption in general. We already know from the closed-door testimony of Catherine Croft, whom Democrats deliberately omitted from public hearings, that Trump had an independent concern about corruption in Ukraine and raised it with the previous president. We also know that Giuliani's task was preparing a legal defense for Trump, one Trump knew about. Nothing about that is new. Nope. Number 5, Parnas claims that he presented himself to Ukrainian officials as the president's representative. Okay, really? Unfortunately for Maddow, he presented himself as working for the president's personal attorney. That's different. Something he said that Giuliani reiterated in every interaction with Ukrainian officials. Neither Parnas nor Giuliani ever presented themselves as representing the U.S., and as President Trump's personal attorney, Giuliani had an ethical obligation to investigate whatever he could to help his client. Okay. Hey, Midnight Exile, how you doing? Number 6, Parnas claimed that he conveyed a threat to Ukrainian official Sergei Shaffer. Parnas said that he told Shaffer, an aide to President Volodymyr Zelensky, that all U.S. aid was at risk unless Ukraine announced an investigation into former Vice President Joe Biden. The claim contrasts with claims by President Zelensky himself, who has said numerous times that he felt no pressure from the United States whatsoever, and that there was never any quid pro quo tied to U.S. assistance. He didn't know about it until after the fact. Number 7, Parnas claims that Vice President Mike Pence stayed away from Zelensky's inauguration to apply pressure. Pence flatly denied that on Wednesday. In addition, testimony by Pence's aide, Jennifer Williams, suggests that scheduling conflicts were an issue. She also said that she had heard Trump told Pence not to attend, but did not know why. Parnas also said Trump did not cancel a Poland trip because of a hurricane, a dubious claim given the political importance of hurricanes in the U.S. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, imagine there's a hurricane bearing down on the United States and the president of the United States flies off to Poland in this political climate. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the hell out of here. Number 8, Parnas actually shut down Maddow's claims about menacing text messages about former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch. Democrats accused a former Republican congressional aide, a man named Robert Hyde, of conducting mob-style surveillance on Yovanovitch. But Parnas said he never took Hyde's text seriously because he was a weird character and he was always drunk. Starting at 6 in the morning. I've never seen him not drunk. Parnas, number 9. Parnas claims Attorney General William Barr was on the team in Ukraine. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi referred to that claim in her press briefing Wednesday morning, saying that Barr was implicated. But Parnas said he never spoke to Barr and did not know whether Barr had ever spoken to any Ukrainian officials. Okay, then why did you even bring it up? Dumbass. Okay, President Trump had told Zelensky that Barr would work with him, which would be entirely legal, but which supposedly never happened anyway. Okay, and finally, number 10, Maddow never asked Parnas about CNN's claim about Devin Nunes going to Vienna. Recently, House Intelligence Committee ranking member Representative Devin Nunes sued CNN for defamation for claiming he had gone to Vienna to meet with a former Ukrainian prosecutor. Parnas was allegedly CNN's source. Oh, great! The lawsuit states, Nunes says that he was in Benghazi, Libya at the time. Maddow asked about Nunes, but not about that. Parnas said he did not know Nunes too well. So anyway, that's our boy Lev Parnas, who's I got a feeling he's just full of shit. You know, it's interesting that this is another one of those Southern District of New York things. You know, that's where he gets indicted by the Southern District of New York. It's just that district that all those lawyers there kind of hate Trump. They're a bunch of anti-Trump people there, and they make no bones about it either. They are not Trump friendly, and Trump doesn't like them either. They can go jump in a lake, according to Trump. It's funny that Lev Parnas is in that same spot. He's the same place. Just saying. All right, it's that time. I really got to get through some Twitter trends here real quick, because that's what we do every day. We talk about Twitter trends so we can find out what's happening, what people are talking about, what people are going to be making videos about tomorrow, and what people are going to be talking about later tonight. And what's interesting, I've been doing this. Did I start this from the first show or not? I can't remember. Maybe Johnny Hellcat remembers. I don't know. But I do know that I started doing Twitter trends, and whenever I do this, I always find something new that I feel like I'm the first one to talk about it, because I do it every day, and then I see videos about it tomorrow or the next day, and I'm like, oh, I talked about that 2 days ago. So it's pretty fun. Anyway, top of Twitter trends today. First of all, the banner today is about Bad Boys for Life, which is the new sequel to Bad Boys. Apparently, it's now playing in theaters. Where's my little clicker here? Everything's backwards. It's hard to do this way. The new Bad Boys movie's out in theaters. I really enjoyed the first two Bad Boys movies. I think Martin Lawrence and Will Smith played well together in that movie. And they're just kind of fun, shoot 'em up cop thriller movies, whatever. And so I might actually, that might be a movie that Lady Boomer and I would go see in a theater. I don't know, because there's a lot of movies that we wouldn't see in a theater. You know, you know what I just realized? I still haven't seen Ghostbusters 2016. Did you miss Thursday Thoughts this week? Nope, we haven't gotten there. We're just now hitting the old Twitter trends there, Richo. So here we go. Twitter trends, let's go. Trending number 1 on Twitter right now is Eminem. Apparently he has a new album out. And let's see, Eminem, no, he's a new video out. Eminem advocates for gun control in the video for his new track, Darkness. Darkness is the first single from Eminem's surprise new album, Music to Be Murdered By. Oh my, well, you know. Anyway, and the lyrics and video tackle the issue of gun violence, revisiting the Las Vegas shooting in 2017. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get one of those whatchamacallits, but here's some lyrics here. Can't get out of this hole I'm in. It's like the walls are closing in. You can't help me. No one can. I can feel those curtains closing. I'm going to open them. I go to open them, but something pulls them closed again. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Feels like I'm loathing in Las Vegas. Okay, so that's interesting. I mean, I'm a fan of Eminem's his artistry. I don't music. I'll call it music too, but his artistry. I think he's a phenomenal wordsmith. But you know, I'm also a second supporter. But I'm interested. I'm gonna check it out later without putting it on my stream so I don't get a strike. Anyway, Ken Starr is trending number 2 along with Alan Dershowitz. Alan Dershowitz and Ken Starr are expected to join Trump impeachment legal team. Oh, damn. Monica Lewinsky says, this is definitely an are you fucking kidding me kind of day. Some fresh reaction to Ken Starr being appointed to defend President Trump in his impeachment trial. Oh my goodness. Okay, Keith Boykin, of all the lawyers in the country, Trump chose Ken Starr, who was fired from Baylor University over a rape scandal, and Alan Dershowitz, who helped pedophile rapist Jeffrey Epstein stay out of prison. What's the message Trump wants to send for this impeachment? The answer to that is Ken Starr was not fired. The Board of Regents was going to allow him to remain as chancellor and faculty member. He resigned. No need. You don't have to make stuff up to get your point across. Anyway, Newt Gingrich says, let's see. Speaker Pelosi sends Schiff and Nadler, and President Trump sends Alan Dershowitz and Ken Starr. That should tell you everything you need to know about the quality of the two cases. It doesn't tell me anything. Well, Schiff and Nadler they're a bit of a joke. See, the thing about Schiff and Nadler, they can't bully people in the Senate with a gavel like they did to different people in the House. They're not the chairman of this committee. They're just supposedly presenting their case. Now, Dershowitz and Ken Starr, I don't know. I mean, interesting choice using Ken Starr. I think that maybe it's a name Trump knows. I don't know. To recap, Ken Starr, who thought lying under oath about an affair was impeachable, thinks extorting a foreign country to smear a political rival is not impeachable. Extorting a foreign country, that's an opinion. Maybe he has an argument that it's not extorting a foreign country. And you know what? To smear a political rival? Okay, if it's a smear, how about we look into that, whether or not it was a smear? Let's find out if it was a smear or if there was something to it. What was Hunter Biden doing? And you know what else? It would just be precious if Nancy Pelosi's son got brought up, who happens to be also working for an energy company in Ukraine. But it's a weird choice. I'm sorry. Ken Starr has the problem. The problem with Ken Starr is, regardless of what you think of Ken Starr, whether you are pro Ken Starr or anti Ken Starr, there's a bit of a taint to his name. It's weird. I mean, I don't know. David Axelrod, all of a sudden this feels a little like the OJ trial with an all-star band of defense lawyers. Okay, that's interesting. Yep. I mean, hey, if Robert Kardashian was still alive, he'd probably be on the team too. Moving on, Black Swan is trending. That's a K-pop group. Now, normally, I would immediately go skip, but Seven sent me something today. It's in my notifications. They sent me this, and I thought it was actually very cool and artistic, but I'm not going to play the music, but it's this Black Swan art film performed by a Minnesota dance company. So these are some people in the Twins, actually a dance company here in the Twin Cities, and they were doing this really cool. I'll move it here. They were doing this really cool video, basically to this Black Swan music, and it's really good. Now, since I can't show you the whole thing. Oh, I don't even have it centered here. It's very artistic. It's very well done. It's done to music by the K-pop group Black Swan. So what I'm going to do is let me make this a small screen again. All right, and I will. Oh shoot, what I do there? Hang on. All right, we'll pull the YouTube one up. I'm going to put a link to this in the chat. I thought it was very well done, and even though usually it's skip the K-pop. Come on, screen. Let's go. Share. Here we go. Share, and there we go. We'll copy the link, and I will put that in the chat. I do recommend that you go watch it. It's very well done. It's enjoyable. It's very artistic. All right, moving back on to Twitter trends. So anyway, now we can Black Swan, new single and art film from BTS is here. Skip, because you can look at it yourself. Did I hit the click? Oh, there we go. Got to send it. All right, moving on. Friday Feeling. I'm going to skip Friday Feeling. I'm going to go to, but because number 5 trending right now is Betty White. No, Betty White is still with us, but it is her 98th birthday. Longtime queen of comedy, good old Betty White, back from the Emmys, and some pictures of her from her younger days. Gotta love Betty White. Happy birthday. Happy 97th birthday. Or excuse me, 98. 98th birthday of Betty White. There she goes. She dabbed for the Super Bowl. That was when she was 96. That was a couple years ago. When she told Cochran how she planned to spend her 94th birthday. Let's play this. Here's 5 times Betty White was the cutest human on earth. I know I'm going to get straight for this. When she dabbed for the Super Bowl.
How are you going to celebrate this? Vegas?
Oh, I'm going to celebrate with Robert Redford.
And when she was in the Snickers commercial, that was pretty funny.
Mike, what is your deal, man?
Come on, man. You've been riding me all day.
Mike, you're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
When she toured the Central Park Zoo
to the
with
Central
CBS
Park
Sunday
Zoo
Morning.
because you like animals more than people.
Well, I don't necessarily admit that, but yes, I do. I was just having a conversation with 2 people over there, speculating on if you could have any 2 people in the world, living or dead, to your house for dinner, what would you eat?
Okay, so happy birthday, Betty White. Everyone loves Betty White. Moving on, Friday Thoughts. This is what I'm going to click. I'm going to do Friday Thoughts just for Richo. Friday Thoughts. The top one today is Liberty Nation, which is that curly-haired girl from the Kent State with the gun girl. I can't remember her damn name. Quote, as Speaker Pelosi was handing out souvenir impeachment pens to a somber, excuse me, I got to say this in a more somber tone. Oh, the one thing I really wanted to do today was I wanted to play funk because I think I can play funk again now that I have a GPU. Anyway, we'll do that in my stream this afternoon. Let me be a little more somber. And then I'm going to read Pirate Pete's chat here. As Speaker Pelosi was handing out souvenir impeachment pens to a somber congregation of House members, the not-so-silent majority scoffed at her hypocrisy and what most consider an incoherent opening statement. Okay, that's a Friday thought, but let me get a better Friday thought. Maybe we'll even get a Friday thought if I scroll long enough. This is interesting. Fitness Bangsa. Oh my gosh, I have no idea what this dude's doing, but he's hanging from you can't see it. He's hanging from something there. All right, I'm gonna skip that. Ladies, shooting waits for no one. Be brave. I don't know what that means. I gotta find a good. Oh, look at this cat. How the hell is that cat staying up there? That cat's sleeping like that with his legs and... Okay. That's really weird. Tobacco has originated from cow's blood. It's a sin to smoke tobacco. Okay. Here we go. Believe it or not. The Friday thought of the day. Believe it or not, most of your friends secretly hate you. Okay, it doesn't look like we have a hashtag ho or a Twitter trend thought. Okay, so we're going to move on. Michelle Obama's trending number 7. You are my star, Barack Obama, and others wish Michelle Obama a happy birthday. So it's also Michelle Obama's birthday. Betty White, Michelle Obama. Happy birthday, Michelle Obama. Even though, you know what? I honestly, I don't have anything bad to say about Michelle Obama. I'm not going to. I don't want her in politics. I'm not a fan of her husband as a president. But here's something positive about Barack and Michelle Obama. They have a nice family. They've been married for however many years, and they've raised 2 very nice girls. Okay? I'm thinking post-presidency Obamas. Okay? And so far, for the most part, Obama's kind of stayed out of it. They went and bought their little house over in the Martha's Vineyard or whatever that it's going to be underwater in 12 years. The house that they bought, on the big oceanside shit. He's making money doing whatever the hell he does. But honestly, other than I didn't care for his presidential policies, I think they're fine people. That's my opinion, and I'm staying with it. So there you go. Moving on. The rise of the resistance hashtag is trending. The resistance is hanging. Oh, is this the rise of the resistance? Disneyland Star Wars ride. The rise of the resistance. Opening day at Disneyland. This is the crowd waiting to get inside the park. Oh, this is actually a ride at Disneyland. I thought it was going to be something about President Trump. This is actually a Star Wars thing at Disneyland. Me, when I see the rise of the resistance trending, and I think the revolution has finally begun, but I just see some Disney bullshit. I thought for sure it was. No, this is a new Disneyland thing. Me, when I realized there are still 5 hours until park opening, the rise of the resistance. Yes, they just really played this bizarre astromech droid audio for like 2 minutes and then went back to the usual music loop. Okay. So, yeah, that's... I thought it was going to be some anti-Trump rally or some shit. That's a ride at Disneyland. Okay, moving on. David Brooks is trending. Probably said something negative about Trump, so he's trending. Let's see. David Brooks for Democrats. Oh, interesting. Let's see here. So David Brooks tweeted, these Democrats are doing this even though it's political suicide. Class war progressivism. Class war progressivism loses to culture war conservatism because swing voters care more about their values, guns, patriotism, abortion, masculinity, than they do about proletarian class consciousness. So he wrote an article in the New York Times, and there is a lot of people shitting on it on Twitter. Matt Tallaby, David Brooks reassures us, billionaires aren't hoarding an ever greater share of the world's resources. Oh my God, they're not, you moron. Rather, if you're on the wrong side of the inequality paradigm, you simply need to increase your productivity. It's kind of how it is. No. Oh my God. This billionaires are hoarding an even ever greater share of the world's resources. Wrong. No, they're not. Their value of their companies is rising, so it seems like their net worth is rising, but they're not hoarding anything. Again, I use the Scrooge McDuck analogy. They don't have a big room of gold coins and jewelry that they go take a dive and swim in. Okay? It's not a zero-sum game. You know what? If somebody tomorrow comes up with a fantastic invention that a lot of people go, hey, I wish I'd have thought of that. I want one of those. And then all these people buy one of those. Guess what? There's going to be another person with $1 billion. Okay? It's not zero sum. It's not like, okay, there is exactly $500 trillion in the world. And the $1 trillion just moves around and moves around. And sometimes people steal more of it and they get more of it. And then they put a pile of it in their backyard and in the swimming pool and in their garage. And then they just hold on to it so nobody else can have it. No, that's not how it works. Not a zero-sum game. I know capitalism is broken because David Brooks is paid more than any writer I know despite being unable to read a chart. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so the communists are shitting on David Brooks. Okay. Pam Bondi, I don't know who that is. Pam Bondi is Pam Bondi, one of Donald Trump's impeachment lawyers, once accepted $25,000 in donations from Trump's charity while another attorney general was investigating Trump University. Trump paid a $2,500 fine for violating charity law. He paid a $2,500 He paid a $2,500 fine. Okay. That's his IRS penalty, $2,500. How much did he pay in taxes in that one Rachel Maddow tax return that we saw? He paid a $2,500 fine to the IRS. Okay. Okay, Pam Bondi is one of his lawyers. His other lawyers are, okay, here's his legal team for the upcoming Senate trial. White House counsel Pat Cipollone, Jay Sekulow, Ken Starr, Robert Ray, Alan Dershowitz, Pam Bondi, and Jane Raskin. Okay, so those are the attorneys that Trump has chosen. Moving on, that's why she's trending. Happy birthday, Michelle. We got that. Michelle Obama. James Corden is trending. Why is he trending? James Corden. Because, oh my God. Because people want him to have BTS in his, what's that thing he does when he drives to work with musicians and sing-alongs, where there's something, carpool karaoke. Apparently so BTS did this thing singing in a car, so they want James Corden to do a carpool karaoke with them. Okay, whatever, who cares? K-pop, skip. Tillerson, okay. By the way, what's that general? The general that's indicted, he filed a motion to withdraw his guilty plea. And then I'm breaking his name. Anyway, Rex Tillerson is trending because a bunch of dopes and babies inside Trump's stunning tirade. Okay, this is quite a read. Read about it. But the TLDR is Mattis, Tillerson, and others try to Dick and Jane the president into learning even the tiniest bit of history, but Comrade Bonespurs is greedy and angry and calls them dopes and babies and losers. Okay, so apparently, Mattis, Tillerson et al. Convinced themselves they were doing their patriotic duty. It was the opposite. They should have resigned that day and held a joint news conference. Okay, because Trump berated them. I'll have to read that story. Maybe we'll talk about that this afternoon, but it's in the Washington Post, which is all anti-Trump all the time and also has one of those paywalls. So we're going to skip that. Dershowitz's Star, Ken Starr, Mrs. Obama. Those are all things we've talked about already. Munkin, something about NCAA football. Let's see. It is breaking. Cleveland Browns offensive coordinator Tom Munkin to join Kirby Smart's staff at the University of Georgia, which means the University of Georgia will probably never win another game of football again. Good Friday is trending not because it's a Good Friday, but because it's Friday and everyone does Good Friday. Oh, Mrs. Pinch My Nips. Work to do now, but who wants to give these a Good Friday feeling? Okay, Miss Pinch My Nips. Now, that's not necessarily a Twitter thought or a hashtag ho, but she's up there kind of. I knew it was going to be a Good Friday because as soon as I woke up, I got a notification that the invoice was paid and my other payments came in. Okay, I'm not sure what that's about. I got a feeling I'm kind of scared of scrolling the Good Friday ones because they all they keep I'm looking at some of the people's avatars and it's all like chicks showing cleavage. Not that that's a bad thing, but I worry every time I scroll because you never know what you're gonna get, and I don't want any porn showing up on my YouTube channel. Everyone is in their feelings today. Some sad, some mad, some loving, most horny. Seems like a Good Friday to me. Okay, maybe the Good Friday one is filled with hashtag hoes and I just don't know it. I'm very gently scrolling through these because you never know. You know what? Let's just stop it. I'm not even going to take a chance. Let's go back. And finally, Friday Vibes fills out the end of Twitter trends. So that's enough of that nonsense. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here on the Morning Night Live today on this beautiful, I never told you, it's January 17th, 2020. And it's Friday. Hey, I hope everyone's planning a good weekend. Now, I am going to stream again this afternoon just to check the settings and stuff. Did we have any glitches today, though? Did we get through the stream without any just crapinella happening on the stream? It looks like we got through it pretty good, didn't we? Maybe, just maybe, having this new GPU in the computer that, I've collected funds over several months and finally bought it yesterday and put it in the computer. Maybe that's going to help me not have so many damn problems with this stream. Yes, Pete, absolutely. To answer your question, yes, it's okay to plug Blind Press's streams. That's why I gave you a wrench so that you can put the link to her stream in the bottom of my chat. You are absolutely welcome to do that. Blind Press streams after me at the top of the hour, on the daily. Well, I think she goes Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays now. But anyway, and then I was gonna hit something else back here. I'm sorry that I haven't been in the chat too much. Whoa, fuck you. That's Irish people during the day and evening, and also after the night out. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Pete, you also had something back along. Oh, here's the other thing. I'm gonna finish the show with a something Pete had in the chat earlier. Today is National Bootleggers Day. So here's a whiskey shot to old granddad who did a bit of whiskey smuggling from Windsor to the loggers in the Saginaw Bay. That's a really cool story. I would love to hear that one sometime. So hey, go to your, now granted, you go to your liquor store now and you can buy moonshine because they've made some of these moonshine companies now are actually legit businesses. But that's a really cool story, though. It's national. So happy National Bootleggers Day. Is that a Canada thing, or is that everywhere? I don't know. Anyway, y'all, thanks for being here at the Morning Night Live. Oh, 6, Becca, how you doing? Oh, Becca, you were here earlier. I didn't say hi though, did I? Anyway, y'all, before you leave, before you clock out for your shift here today, make sure that you hit that little thumbs up thing down there. Duck Dog, I know you do your thing. He does one of those, but the rest of you, throw a thumbs up for the PDawg, right? And if you like what we do, make sure you share the stream. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get bigger. And if you'd like to donate to the cause, please hit the Streamlabs link in the description down below or in the chat. It goes up there periodically. I gotta thank you all for being here. It's been a lovely day, but I do have to go. I am gonna throw another stream up this afternoon, so look for that. Check your notifications or just follow me on Twitter at PDawgNight, DAWG. That's my Twitter handle, and we'll see you this afternoon. My name is PDawgNight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Bink. Hey, this is PDawgNight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgNight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgNight, and I'm out of here.